This was the most painful thing I had ever experienced in my life.
This is an NBC News hotline.
It's been 50 years.
In Memphis.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot outside a Memphis motel this afternoon.
I'm Dr. Coby V. Smith. My birthday is July 17th, 1946. I went to Southwestern at Memphis, which was a college in liberal arts, now Rhodes College. One of the first two blacks admitted in 1964. I chose Rhodes because I had gone to West Point for competitors. And the following year, I received a primary appointment to the Naval Academy. And I was just going to go to Rhodes to stay busy and not miss any time before going to the Naval Academy. Got over there and liked it. It was interesting because it was at one time a privilege to be at some place that had just decided to desegregate. But it was also a tedious experience in being the everybody else's experiment in blackness. They did not want us, but they had to have us. Then the war broke out, and I did not want to be on active duty during Vietnam. I had become an anti-war protester. I didn't believe in killing little brown people for white people. Martin King was a man that I knew and had a chance to be impacted by his wisdom and by his counsel. You know, here's a guy who I would walk down the roads with. Those are days I'll never forget. In those days, I was a clean-shaven youngster. And when Martin King was assassinated, I decided not to shave again. He was the man who impacted heavily on what I became as a man. And he was also the leader of our movement.
There's a little song that we sing in our movement down in the South. I don't know if you've heard it, but it has become the theme song. We shall overcome.
I spent most of my lifetime as a movement activist, and I dropped out of school to do it. I left Memphis originally in 1966. I went with Dr. King down to Jackson, Mississippi. We marched from Memphis to Jackson, Mississippi, and every day I would be with him, with Stokely Carmichael, and with H. Rap Brown, and a man named Cleveland Sellers. And we would be debating every day about turning the other cheek and not turning the other cheek. So since I was a little lightweight football player, I didn't think I had to turn the cheek. I wanted to make a statement. Invaders was a group of about up to 2,000 young people who were all over the city of Memphis, who were largely students. My role was to receive the information from invaders who would be all over the city. The sanitation workers were being harassed when they got off their job. So we decided that we would assign members to escort them to the Claiborne Temple for the rallies or to escort them home. The police would stop them and harass them or arrest them. So the invaders were trained to simply ask the question, is this man under arrest? What is he being arrested for? What is he charged with, etc.? And that usually would mean that the police would let him go. You know, Martin King was, he is depicted as this mild-mannered guy, but he was a very tough individual. He didn't walk away from a fight. People shy away from things because they're afraid of it. But his role was so much bigger than that. He was a man that taught us all to confront problems. He had a method for doing it. His method was nonviolent civil disobedience. And that's what he taught. That's what he learned from Gandhi. And he taught them to those of us who would listen. So what's next is for us to put our thinking caps on and get in our right mind and figure out how to complete the task. We did not do a very good job of completing the task we set out to do. We thought that this world would be right for our children. And I'm considering you our children. You wouldn't have to come over here and experience any kind of racism or setback. So remember now, in your lifetime, you're going to do more than just work for a living. You also have to work for your satisfaction, for your own pleasure. So find something you want to do and do it. And it doesn't matter how much money you make at it. Money is just a tool. It's something we use.